What is going on, my family? Your boy Demetrius is back with another classic Tekken 8 video. Here we are going to talk about what is going on when it comes to Tekken 8 and the Tekken community. And yes, this is a part 3 of basically my legendary trilogy. The Tekken community is in shambles, and that's once again where we are at and where we stand when it comes to Tekken 8. First of all, I would like to say, when Armor King was revealed at Combo Breaker 2025, I myself, along with a lot of other people, thought that Armor King was going to save Tekken 8, not from a gameplay standpoint, from an energy standpoint. I kind of felt like the energy that we saw the community build up when it came to Armor King, I thought that was probably going to weather the storm a little bit. When it came to Tekken 8, I thought that was gonna calm the community down a little bit when it came to Tekken 8 Season 2. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But unfortunately, I was wrong. And as a matter of fact, it only took a couple of days for everything to go back to shambles normal when it came to Tekken 8 and the Tekken community. And it's a shame. You know, it's a shame. And to be quite honest with you, when it came to the latest patch, the development team did not make things any better. I did a video on the latest patch, and I went on record by saying that that patch was very mediocre. I said that patch was boo-boo, and it was a very, very conservative patch. Y'all feel what I'm saying? It was almost like the development team were so conservative to the point where they did so well with the patch last month that they were too scared to touch anything. They did not want to touch anything because they did not want the backlash from the community. But we already know, by being conservative, that's exactly what happened. They were too conservative. They were too careful. They were trying to be too careful with this latest patch. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And a lot of characters just went untouched. You know, a lot of things are still kind of fucked up when it comes to the game. So the patch was really mediocre. And that basically, like I said, the Tekken community kind of got a little bit upset once again, because right after the Armor King reveal, it goes back to shambles normal. And then the development team comes out with this not good patch. And now here we are again. We are back at square one, and we are back at part 3 with the Tekken community being in shambles. Countless times I've gone on record by saying that this is going to take a while when it comes to Tekken 8. Y'all feel me? It's probably going to take all of Season 2, probably a little bit of Season 3. But we have to be realistic with ourselves right now when it comes to Tekken 8. Look, I've said it already. You know, Tekken 8 is not going to be the greatest Tekken game ever made. It's not going to be that masterpiece that's going to break records. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Tekken 8 is just not going to be that game. It's just never going to be that game. The best we can hope for when it comes to Tekken 8 is that the development team can make it as balanced as possible. You know what I'm saying? Try to get it back to how it was in mid-season 1, and then try to go off from there. That's the best we can hope for right now, because when it comes to Tekken 8, you know, Tekken 8 is just not going to be that legendary masterpiece that, you know, a lot of Tekken games have been in the past. You know, Tekken 3, Tekken 5, Tekken 7, y'all feel what I'm saying? Tekken 8 is just not going to be that, and we have to come to terms with that. The only thing that we can do right now is just hope that the game can get some balance to it. And like I said, it does not look like that's coming anytime soon, because right now, like I said, the development team, they're being very, very conservative. And when you're conservative, that's almost like saying you're scared and you don't either know what you're doing, or basically you're just not trying to face the backlash. And like I said, right now, the development team, they're facing backlash. Everyone is complaining once again when it comes to the Tekken community. And I also want to say something else too. The word negativity is once again being thrown around when it comes to the Tekken community. Here's what I gotta say about that. When you say negativity, you're basically saying that, okay, someone is just going around and trying to burn bridges and trying to fuck shit up. That's negativity. What a lot of us are doing right now is far from negativity. You know, when it comes to stuff like this, It's passion and emotion involved. And that's what a lot of us are speaking off of when we're criticizing Tekken 8, or when we say something great about Tekken 8. When I did the last video about, you know, the patches and the rank match points, that was something that I pointed out that they did well. They are working on that, because that was something that I was pleading for them to work on, the rank match points. So they are making an effort. You know, by many people in the community criticizing the game, it's not coming from a negativity standpoint. It's either coming from a passion standpoint, or it's coming from an emotional standpoint. And the reason for it is because Tekken 8 is very unfamiliar to a lot of people. It's very unfamiliar to a lot of players, legendary players. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And right now, it's just one of those type of things that people just can't keep up with Tekken 8 right now. People just simply just cannot keep up with Tekken 8 right now. And it's frustrating a lot of people in the community. And once again, we're starting to see people speak out when it comes to Tekken 8 Season 2, and when it comes to the aftermath of Combo Breaker and of that new patch notes. And, you know, like I said, when it came to the patch notes, you can kind of say that that was... You can kind of say that that was 60-40 on the downside, because a lot of people were not happy about that, including myself. They should have done better than what they did. It just really didn't even make any sense how a lot of those characters went untouched. And right now, you got to ask the question, when the next patch comes, are they still going to work on those characters? Or are they going to focus on the characters that were not on that list? Like, we don't know. What are they doing right now? Y'all feel what I'm saying? Or is it one of those type of situations where they felt that they needed more time with specific characters? We got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully in the next patch coming next month, I hope that's what it really is, that they needed more time with certain characters, such as a Brian Fury, such as Alyssa. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So we just gonna have to wait and see what happens there. But when it comes to people speaking out, when it comes to Tekken 8 right now, it's like the legends are speaking out. You know, you got Nee coming out and saying something once again. You know, you had Cooldown's come out and saying something once again. You had guys like Speed Kicks come out and basically, you know, Speed Kicks being a little bit of sarcastic, but at the same time, you know, people are speaking out right now when it comes to Tekken 8 right now. And like I said, we are just right back where we started. You know, it's starting to seem like a turbine in itself. Because when we play the game of Tekken 8, Tekken 8 is that game that puts you in a turbine right now. And that's really what's going on right now. You know, we're waiting on patch notes. We're waiting on character reveals, this and that, this and that. It's just like the same turbine right now. And the reason why I feel like this is going on right now is because I kind of feel like the community still has not gotten hit with the terms when it comes to Tekken 8. At one point, Tekken 8 was a terrible game. It did get a little better after last month's patch. Y'all feel what I'm saying? I'm going to leave it up to y'all. If y'all think the game is bad, the game is trash, or the game is dead, I'm not going to say either of that right now. If this was like a month ago, I was saying that the game was trash because it was. But right now, I don't know. It's just like I can't even make a fucking decision right now when it comes to Tekken 8. It's just like, it's just a whole bunch of question marks with me right now. You know, I'm just being all the way honest with y'all. It's just like, you know what? It's not good. It's not bad. It's just, I just don't fucking know about this game right now. And a lot of people right now, they're so frustrated because they're so unfamiliar what's going on with Tekken 8. And it's really hurting a lot of people's hearts. And then that's why I want to say the whole thing about people saying people are being negative. No, people are hurt right now. You know, people that have grew up on this game are just hurt right now that all this shit is going on when it comes to Tekken 8. You feel what I'm saying? And right now, when it comes to Tekken 8, what people are unfamiliar with and what they're missing when it comes to past Tekken games, that may not never come back. And the reason for it is because we got the heat system. Us as a community, as players, we're dealing with it. We're dealing with it, but it is hard to keep up with. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if they're going to keep giving us patch after patch after patch. It's going to be really hard for us to keep up. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But, you know, I want to read off a couple of things that other people have been saying, and then I'm going to come off and then I'm going to finish my take when it comes to this whole thing with Tekken 8. So we got a tweet here from Nee. Nee put this out right after the patch notes was released, and Nee was not happy what was going on. Now, Nee pointed something out when it came to Clive that the rest of the community did not realize. And what Nee pointed out is that Clive was the one character that the Heat Smasher was not nerfed. So Clive's Heat Smasher, out of every single character in the game, was not nerfed. And that is kind of like, what the hell is going on? Y'all feel what I'm saying? Why did they do that? That doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? And my theory is, I don't know, maybe it's one of those situations where Square Enix told Bandai Namco, hey, if y'all fuck with that character, we're gonna cut the contract or some shit like that, because that just does not make any sense how y'all gonna leave that character's Heat Smasher alone, or Rage Art, or whatever, and y'all just basically change everybody else's characters Heat Smashers or Rage Art. So Nee pointed that out, and a lot of people weren't thinking about that, and then it brought it to a lot of people's attention, and Nee came out to be right. So this is what Nee had to say. Today, many characters saw a significant nerf to the tracking performance of their Heat Smash. However, wasn't Clive unaffected by the tracking nerf because he uses magic and summons? Honestly, this doesn't really seem like a fair balance adjustment. Please treat him the same as other Tekken characters. And you know, then Nee had it to where that he was showcasing on how Clive was just really unaffected by the whole balance patch. And like I said, I don't know what's going on. I'm so sick of them adding these Final Fantasy characters in these Tekken games. It obviously does not work. And if it does work, nobody likes it. It's just more people don't like it than most. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And right now, Nee is right. Nee is right. They're treating Clive with some type of bias. And like I said, maybe it might be a contract thing when it comes to Square Enix and Namco. You just never know. You just never know. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But yeah, Nee was able to point that out, and everybody sees that. Everybody sees that. They went to the lab and they studied that. And you know what? I don't know the significance of it when it comes to Clive, because to be quite honest with you, I thought Clive was kind of like a dead character anyway. I think Clive died pretty much when Anna came out. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of noticed ain't nobody really using Clive. I haven't really come across him really. So, you know, I don't really know the impact of it. I don't know if people are going to start picking Clive back up. I doubt it, because you got Falkenraum and Armor King coming. So, me personally, I kind of feel like Clive is dead. But at the same time, you know, when we come across this character, we got to remember what Nee had pointed out to us, and remember that he is the one character that the Heat Smash just did not get nerfed. And I think that's some straight bullshit. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Then we got a little tweet here from Speed Kicks. Like I said, Speed Kicks was being a little bit sarcastic, but we're going to read off what he had to say. Speed Kick says, slight nerfs to Heat and Rage Arts, slight buffs to characters. God, I cannot wait for Elena. Now, a lot of people were asking Speed Kicks what did he mean by that. Well, he meant Elena from Street Fighter 6. So basically, when Elena comes out, I guess Speed Kicks is going to try Street Fighter 6 for a little while, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it looked like Speed Kicks was being a little sarcastic, kind of joking a little bit, even though he has been playing Street Fighter 6 lately. But still, that just kind of tells you that the frustration on a lot of these players that have been playing for a long time and grew up on the game. It's not negativity. Players' hearts are broken. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So, you know, for people that are saying it's all some negativity stuff, no, it's not. It's emotional. You know what I'm saying? It's passion. It's involving the heart. A lot of these players are speaking from the heart, and you know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to, you know, people like Nee and people like Speed Kicks, you know, speaking from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what they've been doing for years. And for a game like Tekken 8 to just come along and basically tell the player, be like, hey, forget what you done learned. Forget what you done experienced. You're going to do this the Tekken 8 way. That's how Tekken 8 is. Tekken 8 is a forceful game. That's exactly how Tekken 8 is. Exactly how I just said it, that's how Tekken 8 is. You walk into the door, Tekken 8 is just going to be like, hey, forget about this, forget about that shit in the past. You're going to do it the Tekken 8 way. That's just the unfortunate truth when it comes to Tekken 8. But at the end of the day, also when it comes to Tekken 8, is the game still frustrating? Yes, the game is going to always be frustrating because, you know, it's just not the Tekken game that everyone is accustomed to. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And like I said, they're not going to go back to past Tekken games all the way. They're just simply not going to do it. It's just so many resources in this game. They shouldn't have put all these resources in the game in the first place. Y'all feel what I'm saying? You know, I also remember King J saying that, you know, as a player, you should not be able to go in heat while you're in rage. But it's something that the development team really didn't figure out. So I really kind of thought about what King J said about that, and you know, and it does affect matches. It does affect the approach, because say for instance, if someone is in rage and heat also, it's like you have to respect everything. You have to respect everything, because we already know how people just mash on that fucking rage art. Even when they get hit and counter hit, they mash the fuck out of that damn rage art. So you got to respect that. A lot of the characters, well, even though, you know, Heat Smashers done got nerfed, but a lot of these characters got the faster than the speed of light Heat Smashers. When you even try to walk forward, they press the Heat Smashers and they're still going to get you. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, I understand what King J was talking about when he said that you should not be able to have heat and have rage at the same time. I don't know if the development team is even going to address that. Like I said, this is certain things that they're just ignoring right now. And there are certain things that they're prioritizing. But I just kind of feel like they need to press it up a notch. Y'all feel what I'm saying? They need to do more than what they did with this last patch. Y'all feel me? Like the Heat Smashers. I just kind of feel like, you know what? If they're not going to totally change heat, if we can still just press a button and go into heat, it should be one of those type of things where a Heat Smasher should only be done if we still got a relatively full heat bar. But if the heat bar is low, we shouldn't be able to do a Heat Smasher. Y'all feel what I'm saying? If the heat bar is low, really low, to like 10 or 20% low, we shouldn't be able to do the Heat Smasher. You know, because a lot of these characters still got heat replenish. So I kind of feel like, you know, if our heat meter gets low, we shouldn't be able to do Heat Smasher. But all the other moves, yeah, we can do that. But I just kind of feel like Heat Smasher should take more of the heat bar, you know, that way. You feel me? And it should not be a threat the whole entire game, because that's what it truly is. And like I said, if the character has rage too, you gotta respect everything. So it's just right now, it's just a whole bunch of shit going on when it comes to Tekken 8. And like I keep saying, it's gonna take a while. But I will sit here and say this, even though I still say it's gonna take a while, my hope and my belief has gone down a little bit. And the reason why my hope and belief has gone down when it comes to Tekken 8, getting back to that balance that at least we can bear it, at least that it's just playable. Y'all feel what I'm saying? The reason why my hope and belief has gone down, I kind of feel like Harada and the Tekken team, or Bandai Namco, they're still focused on all of this other stuff. I mean, the Karate Kid pack, yeah, that's great. All of that Tekken Shop, that's just the wrong shit to be focused on right now. And they're showing it. They're showing how focused and how fixated they are on this whole Karate Kid Legends pack and the Tekken Shop and all of that stuff. And I just kind of feel like, you know what, it's hindering right now. Maybe it had a part into why they couldn't really balance these characters the way that they wanted to, because they're too busy promoting this other stuff that's not really important. Like I said, the Karate Kid Legends pack is kind of whack because they didn't put Lei Wulong in the game. It would have been really special if they did that, because the Karate Kid Legends pack had Jackie Chan in it. Now you put Lei Wulong in it, you know, it would have been a little bit more special, because, you know, we could have customized Lei Wulong to really look like Jackie Chan. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But they didn't do that. They was on some ignorant shit. So I just kind of feel like the Karate Kid Legends pack was kind of compromised to a certain extent by Lei Wulong not coming. The priorities are not in the right place still. You know, they just need to work on the game and fix the game. I've been sitting here and saying that, look, they can postpone characters. They can postpone Legends packs and stuff like that. You can't postpone fans' anticipation of wanting the game to be fixed. You know what I'm saying? Because fans are not going to stand for it. You know, we've already seen it. People are uninstalling the game, and they are going to other fighting games. Some come back or whatever, but we're seeing it. We're seeing it. Fans are fed up right now, and Harada and the team, they need to get their shit together. This next patch that's coming up in July, sometime in July, this might be the end-all be-all for Tekken 8. It really might be the end-all be-all. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, the game going to be dead this or whatever. What I mean by that is that when the next patch comes out, and if they're conservative again, it's just like the community is just going to lose all fucking hope. It's just like they're going to lose all hope and lose all belief. and a lot of this shit is going to be done for nothing. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So, you know, we just going to have to see what happens. But right now, you know, the shambles are happening all over again when it comes to the Tekken community. Like I said, iconic pro players are speaking out. Harada responding aggressively to people on Twitter again, acting like a damn child again. Harada is clearly frustrated all over again. So the shambles continues in part 3. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a shame. But, you know, this is how Bandai Namco put it. You know, now we got to wait till next month's patch. Then we got to wait till the month after that and the month after this. So basically they're feeding us a half spoon of something when it comes to these patches. And we got to sit here and say, you know, how much and how long is the community going to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? How long is the community going to deal with every month only getting fed a half a spoon? This could still get turned around, but at the same time, this could still get kind of ugly as well. So we just going to have to see what happens. And like I said, this next patch is going to say a lot. It's going to tell a lot. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So we just got to be ready for it. But as of right now, the shambles continues when it comes to Tekken 8. And like I said, when it came to Armor King, I really did think Armor King was going to suppress a lot of what was going on when it comes to Tekken 8 Season 2. But I guess I was wrong. And a lot of other people were wrong too. But we're going to have to see when Armor King is released. You know, if Armor King has any type of buzz when it's released, that'll be a plus. But if not, you know, I don't know what's going to happen when it comes to Tekken 8. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And then we got the new character coming up. It doesn't seem like too many people even give 2 fucks about this new character. Ain't nobody making no speculation videos. Ain't nobody making no what if videos or who could it be. Is it a male character, female character? Nobody cares right now. That's not a good thing. So as of right now, Tekken 8 is still in the rabbit hole right now. Still in the rabbit hole. But we're just going to have to see. We're just going to have to see. And we're just going to have to wait on next month's patch. And let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Once again, the Tekken community right back in the shambles that we were in about 2 months ago. And then before that, 2 months before that, it was in shambles. So let me know what y'all think. Put y'all thoughts and y'all feelings in the comment section below. We could definitely get a conversation started. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to your boy for the hottest Tekken 8 action on the internet, period. My name is Demetrius. I will get back at you in the next video. God bless. Stay safe. I am out. Peace.